Hey guys, it's Jim here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a workshop style lesson where we're really just going to be focusing on the concept of melody creation and targeting notes that change depending on the chord that's being played underneath it. We're going to be using the Electro Harmonix Grand Canyon. It's delay/looper. We're going to be taking advantage of the looper, that way I don't have to record into Pro Tools. I can do it in real time with you, and just a little bit of reverb from the pedal. This video is made possible by Sweetwater. They're cool enough to send me this pedal, so that's well appreciated from them. But with that out of the way, let's get right into the content in today's lesson. I want to make this fairly straightforward and fairly simple. So the progression we're going to play is a rather simple one. I'm just going to play it by myself before we start looping. I'm going to talk about what notes we're targeting, how to find them from there. So we're going to start with a C. I'm going to be playing it here with a thumb over and then a triad underneath. Next chord we're going to be playing is an E minor. And the final chord that we're going to be playing is an A minor. Thus creating a pretty standard 1-3-6 progression. Now, this is the part that's important, and it doesn't necessarily need to be to the degree that we're going to be talking about. However, I'm going to be aiming for the third of each chord that we're playing. So for example, when we're back on the C, we already know now the third is E, C, D, E. So I'm going to try and land on this as my focal point when we are writing our little melody, instead of just playing the root along with it. A lot of the times it's kind of like the safe note to play if you're playing a progression. You start here, because it's the same exact note. But to add a little bit of flavor to it, it's cool to add in intervals that aren't necessarily there. It adds a little bit of character to it. Next, when we're at the E minor, so we have E minor, F, G. Cool, now we know where we are with that note. That leaves us with one left, and that's the A minor. C. Finally, there's one last potential major benefit that I want to highlight in the example I'm about to play for you that you can get from using a looper pedal when you are creating melodies like this, and that is familiarity and fretboard identification, knowing where the notes are all up and down the neck. So we're not just going to be staying in one box for our example. All that's left now is to loop it. We'll get started. We're going to come in on the E, which is the third of C. And that's pretty much the gist of it. You could do this targeting any different interval. If you wanted to target the fifth, you could do that. You want to target the fourth, you can do that. The same thing is going to apply to minor keys as well, although the actual intervals in between each of the notes is going to change a little bit due to the nature of major versus minor. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half for major, whole, half, whole, half, whole for minor. If what I just said makes absolutely no sense to you, it's not the end of the world, but it's worth putting in the effort to understand really basic concepts such as that. And if enough of you are interested, I would happily make a video kind of breaking all that stuff down for you. And then, you know, going forward with future kind of workshops like this, it might make a little bit more sense. We won't have to kind of backtrack from there onwards. So just remember, you can learn so much more just about playing the guitar when you're taking a focus to what you're playing, because it's very easy to turn a looper on, turn on a backing track, and just kind of noodle away. You want to practice a riff, you want to do this, you want to do that. That's fine. Sometimes some cool stuff can come out of it, but when you deliberately target notes, that's when it starts to sound more organized. It makes it sound a little bit more professional, and you don't need to play anything overtly difficult in order to get those kinds of sounds. I'm going to end this workshop by just playing the same thing over and over again. If you want to jam along, if you did grab your guitar, that's super cool. I encourage you to do so. If you want to aim for the third, go ahead. You want to aim for something else? That's cool too. Have fun. That's what it's all about. And just try to be a little bit more deliberate with your decisions, because it makes a big difference in your playing. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to play out now.